I never dreamed I'd find. It's a beautiful day to start my long night. Live your best life, I'm not crazy. Stay a while, don't worry about tomorrow. Live for today.
I should all eyes
One of these days I'll be alright. There's nothing here that I don't like. Just being me, living through my scars as I watch the clouds near and far. To live within the truth, the memories of my youth. I'm doing my best to get it together, no matter the storm of the weather. Living like I had nothing to lose, not allowing them to light my fuse. I know I can't be the only one, a different path I never dreamed I'd find. It's a beautiful day to start with own mind. Live your best life, I'm not crazy. Stay a while, don't worry about tomorrow. Live for today. One of these days I'll be alright. There's nothing. You're always online, chasing the thrill. In the dark corners where nightmares are real. Whispers and shadows, stories unfold. Innocence lost and the secrets they hold. Reach out and touch grass. Leave the screen, step outside. Reach out and touch grass. Feel the earth, feel alive. Sensational headlines, the dramas you muse, capturing moments, the heartbreak you choose. Behind every story, a life to reclaim. Remember the human, not just the name. Reach out and touch grass. Leave the screen, step outside. Reach out and touch grass. Feel the earth, feel alive. Spotlights glow, don't forget to breathe. Disconnect to reconnect, it's okay to leave. Step away, take a break, find some peace of mind. True crime and drama, but balance you'll find. Reach out and touch grass. Leave the screen, step outside. Reach out and touch grass. Feel the earth, feel alive. More stories that keep you up at night. Ground yourself, find the light. Everything's alright. Reach out and touch grass. You'll be just fine. Breathe deep, step away. It's your time to shine. Reach out and touch grass. Leave the screen, step outside. Reach out and touch grass.
Well, hello. Welcome in. Real quick, it's going to be a lot. It will be a lot to deal with today, so mind your manners. We do have our little squishy ducks because it does become stressful today Welcome to Rubber Ramada Reviews with Sheila. I am Sheila. We're going to start in on Epstein Files. They are very offensive. It will blow your mind. I have indulged myself into a whole bunch of files. I fell in a rabbit hole. Let me tell you guys, I fell in the biggest rabbit hole. I stayed there almost all weekend. I tried to stream yesterday, but things happen. With that, I'm gonna play the intro and we'll be right back. Hold please, intro's only a minute long and it's always a good song. My Rubber Ramada original. Be right back.
Rubber Ramada Room welcomes all. Thanks for stopping by, answering the call. Ups and downs are normal for some of us. Many days I beg to get off this life bus. Neon lights flicker, my shadow on the wall. Dreams on the ceiling, we run and then we fall. Sharing stories over paper cups. Wheels keep turning but never enough. Life's a ride on a rickety old track. Holding on tight, never looking back. In the Rubber Ramada Room we could fight. Laugh, cry, love in this crazy ride. Dusty postcards from the edge of nowhere. Heartbeats echo in the electric air. We dance on tables, we laugh to wait. Cry in the Rubber Ramada Room, we're all high.
Very much so. Content warning today. This is not a normal stream for me. I have deep dived this and went down a rabbit hole, like I said. And I have found stuff that is triggering to some. So, if you can't handle it, more than likely, best bet is to come back another time. There's a lot of things that will be discussed today that may be triggering for some. We will be reviewing Jeffrey Epstein files. I have a whole bunch of videos I have pulled up. I have files I have pulled up, and this will not be a one-day stream. This will probably be multiple days, if not a week long. So I just want to welcome everybody in. Thank you all for being here. First, I always like to talk about something food-wise. It seems I always bring up something food-wise in the stream. So with that, we're going to start off with the first thing. I made a post. Let's see. Let me go over here. Let's see. Where did I make that post at? Let's share this tab instead. Actually, I made a post, and it was to do with dementia. Last night, I had intended on streaming, but as y'all mostly know, I do take care of my mother-in-law who has dementia. So I did want to bring this to y'all's attention. Living with dementia, you agree, never argue, divert, never reason, distract, never shame, reassure, never lecture, reminisce, never say remember, repeat, never say I told you, do what they can do, never say you can't, ask, never demand, encourage, never condescend, reinforce, never force. So, yesterday, we had a hard time. Mom had a long time with sundowning, so I never got to stream. It is what it is. We learn, we move on, we just reschedule, and that's why we didn't stream yesterday. So here I am today, and thank you all for being patient with that. Let's add this to the stage. Ugh, I hate that stream thing. Let's go over here, right back there. So I did find this, and I added this to my post because I want everybody to know. And we do talk food. And so I think what I'm going to do is every stream, we're going to start off with a little food item before we get into the drama, trauma, whatever we're going to stream about. So I found this very fascinating. Caffeinated coffee and tea could help protect you against dementia, even a few daily cups. You don't have to cut the morning coffee drip to protect your brain against dementia in the future. New research shows daily coffee or tea, and yes, the caffeinated kind, is associated with better cognitive health. So those who enjoy 2 to 3 cups of coffee, 2 cups of tea a day, saw the biggest impact according to study published Monday in JAMA. Anyway, so I found that interesting. And so I have my tea. I've already had all my coffee. You're going to go get you some turmeric tea right now. Get you some and come right back. Come right back. So, and then y'all know we always have to have a dog on the stream. And for the newbies here, I always issue a bark warning. I do have 2 dogs in my house that are pit bulls, and they do like to play, and they will bark during the stream. In general, that happens. So, that's my trigger warning of the bark. Mom may come in here and interrupt me. She already came in and asked me for a bologna sandwich, but my wonderful son is making her a bologna sandwich, so I appreciate him for that. You're late. You're never late. You're always on time, Hannah. Anytime being here is great. I appreciate you, love. Let's listen to the dogs because they have Super Bowl information, and I found them to be adorable.
Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks on winning the Super Bowl. I know we were complaining that
and y'all know we have to go with a little few refreshers here and there before we actually get into the total craziness of Epstein.
Super Bowl was a football game and not a gigantic bowl of our favorite food, but that was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why we weren't allowed to play, though, right? I mean, if you want to see the best competitors playing fetch for 4 hours, why not include the best fetch players in the world?
These dogs are so cute. I love them. I do them. I've been doing them almost every stream here lately. Welcome in,
Something
Sydney.
that was confusing, though.
Yeah.
Why they took a break halfway through to have a party.
I don't remember that ever happening when we played.
Yeah, but at least our suspicions about bunnies were right all along.
Yeah.
I mean, they announced it, that there was a bad bunny at the Super Bowl, and everyone started
There was a bad bunny at the Super Bowl.
cheering.
And everybody started
those
cheering.
bunnies were sketchy.
How about those people wearing black and white uniforms?
Yeah. I think those were the players' dads. They kept bringing the ball back to them.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. That would explain why they kept breaking up fights. My dad does that at the park, too, whenever I meet that weird loaf of bread-shaped corgi.
Basically, Frenchie, I think we're pretty much experts at football now.
Congratulations again to the Seattle Seahawks. And next year, let's make the Super Bowl what it really should have been all along. One giant, delicious bowl of food.
Okay, I dropped their link. That is Goldie and Frenchie, and I do watch them quite often. And always, I will put this in chat because I do like to share the 988 Lifeline number if anybody is having any type of crisis. Need to talk, that is available. So we're going to start. Where are we going to I don't even know where to start. Okay, so we're going to start right here. I put a whole file together. There's a whole bunch of videos that I pulled up. We're going to watch some, then we're going to review some files. We're just going to kind of skip back and forth and just kind of play this by ear. If there's anything y'all want me to look up, you just mention it in the chat. Yes, they are cute, Cindy. They are adorable. Goldie and Frenchie. I love them. I totally adore them. I will be dropping these links in chat as I review each little segment that I review. It's a live before your bedtime. I know, right? If I could get back on schedule, you know what, Denise Love? It's been a rough couple months, but I'm trying to get back on schedule. And, you know, if I can get Mom back on schedule with dementia, which is impossible, I could stream more regularly, but it is what it is. Yeah, good to see you, Denise. So I'm going to start with this one. Good afternoon, Mustang. How are you? Okay, we're going to start with this one. We're going to start with this one. This was Nick Shirley, and he goes around and does interviews. I've watched a few of his things, not a whole lot, but let's see, default view. Let's make this full screen. Here we go, full screen. And I will drop all these again in chat. So people the truth of you. And he went around and interviewed neighbors of Epstein's residence. which I found fascinating because people didn't talk back then, but now they want to talk.
About the Epstein Files. This right here is Jeffrey Epstein's mansion here in New York City, estimated around $70 million. How did a man go from being a school teacher, becoming a billionaire, to running one of the most secret operations in a very gross operation in the world? There's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things going around about the Epstein Files. So today we're going to be asking people the truth about the Epstein Files here in New York City. Did you guys ever see any really rich and powerful people walking into this home right here?
No.
No. What do you think happened?
I have no idea. Do you see when I first watched this, and I wanted to review it here with y'all, do you see how quickly they ducked and walked away? Nope. Didn't see nothing. Gotta go. Yeah.
What do you think happened inside this house?
There was a hanging. Somebody hung himself, committed.
Have you been living in the neighborhood for a long time?
Yeah.
This is one of the neighbors of Epstein, a woman who lives in the neighborhood and would frequently...
This lady, me and her, we could be friends. Both of us, Mrs. Kravitz peeking through them mini blinds. Hello. She's my kind of lady. She should have spoke up sooner, but listen to what she's got to say.
Walk past Epstein's home. Pay close attention to what she says, as she's a first-hand witness about who came in and out of these doors. This is a witness and a testimony like I've never seen or heard before. And did you ever see any really rich and powerful people go inside this building?
You want to know who I saw going in there? Mm-hmm. Everyone you've heard about.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you name any names?
Yeah, you know them all from the newspaper.
Did you see Bill Clinton going there?
Who?
Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Bill Gates?
No.
Trump?
Yeah, I think of the other ones. Andrew.
Prince Andrew. You saw Prince Andrew going there. And what do you think actually happened inside of this home?
All the most terrible things you could think of, both. Bad.
And what do you think the truth is about the Epstein Files?
Well, someone has them. Yeah. Maxwell probably would be the best source. But she'll stay put.
Did you ever talk to Epstein or Maxwell?
No, I never laid eyes on Maxwell. No, but I knew.
Right after this, we're going to discuss Maxwell in just a second. I know we're doing Epstein, but we will discuss Maxwell as soon as this video is over with.
Knew the couple that took care of him by name.
And what did they say about them?
They left as soon as he was indicted.
Are they still alive?
They probably are. They were from the Philippines.
And they just left?
And his wife. Yeah, well, sure, because they would have been interrogated.
Could you imagine working for them and having to leave, living in the Philippines, and they just upped and left because they wanted no part of this? So what all did they know and not say?
And we were told, even in our building, when it first happened, not to, because the doormen know everything. They're the ones that would say they see the security guards, the people, the police, I guess, or someone came to them, and our superintendent said, "You don't know anything. No one should be interrogated. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but he's dead, so it doesn't matter."
Who do you think Epstein was working for?
Nobody knows that.
You think he was working by himself, or do you think he was working for some other?
No, I think he was smart, pushy, knew how to surround himself with wealthy people, and he was a smart cookie.
How does somebody go from being a school teacher to becoming a multi-billionaire to running?
Well, there are other people that do that, right? He was smart, and he knew how to play the people. He wasn't a rich man, but he surrounded himself with rich people. And you can learn a lot doing that, and they believed him.
And would you like to see Trump make people like the Clintons testify about what they saw at the islands?
Yeah. I'd like Trump to come forward, too. He said he was never involved. He won't.
I'm trying to we don't talk political or religion usually in my chats. So unfortunately, this does have a political crossover that we are just going to have to respect and deal with. Exactly, Cindy. I love her. Like I said, another Mrs. Kravitz, just like me. I'm that nosy ass next door neighbor that's going to say, let me peek through those mini binds and see what the fuck is going on.
And do you think Maxwell should testify and expose everybody?
Yeah, but she would only do that for a pardon, and they're not going to give her that.
Would you
We're going to finish watching this, and then we're going to carry on to Ghislaine Maxwell for just a minute.
support Donald Trump if he were to give her a pardon to let her spill all the information?
No. Remember her words. We're going to back that up just a second, but remember her words.
He won't.
And do you think Maxwell should testify and expose everybody?
Yeah, but she would only do that for a pardon, and they're not going to give her that.
Would you support Donald Trump if he were to give her a pardon to let her spill all the information?
No. Because that means she's out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
She was definitely his partner. I believe that.
Yeah, and so you've seen people like Prince Andrew, Trump, the Clintons, a lot of other people walk inside this building.
Yeah, well, you knew it. They all come with security guards who park here or stand out here, so you can't miss it. Mm-hmm. And I saw plenty over the years. This is a long time ago now. Before we knew what was going on, just young girls. I mean, young.
How old
teenagers.
were the girls that you saw go in?
Well, because they were coming from schools. They were coming from public schools.
Mama be spilling it all. The girls were coming from the public schools. The public schools, mind you. Yes, she was. Yes, she was, Virgil.
Really?
So they were high school age.
Wow, so you saw a bunch of high schoolers going inside
You
here.
could tell. I always come this way home, and you'd cross the street, and maybe on the far corner would be two girls. Now, don't get nervous. It's going to be all right. He's really a nice man. You know, he promised people that didn't know people like this exist in a gorgeous house like this. They didn't know he was going to abuse them. He said, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You know, when you get out of high school, I'm going to get you a modeling job. I'm going to set you up." And
do we not see a problem here? When you get out of high school, I will get you a modeling job and set you up. Do what? Do what? Excuse me? Problem.
you know, he promised them all kinds of things, and they unfortunately believed.
Wish your ducks.
What do you think about some of these girls?
I must say, I'd see him a lot. Did I ever have a conversation? No. But you don't see it in the newspapers, I think. There was something, he was very attractive. There was something, his eye, I don't know what it was. I mean, I'm a woman, but he had a look, he was attractive. You don't see it in the pictures now. And he always had, tight blue jeans, a pink button-down shirt, very clean. He looked okay. Had a nice smile always. I mean, you wouldn't go, I'm not going to this guy, I don't want to meet in the alleyway, Mm-hmm. So there was something about him attractive, and people said that about our President Clinton too. He had a look, I never had a conversation. But I see him, I say good morning, like I said good morning to you. I didn't know I was going to get into this.
Wow. The only reason I can potentially see why these files are not being released is because of how many people could be on the files that are innocent. And maybe this was part of Epstein's plan to fill a book or client list with as many people as possible to use as blackmail, and then only invite a select few to indulge in the massages that happened on the island. Essentially, this would get dirt on a few people, but then ruin the reputations and trust of anyone else in the files. For instance, Trump being friends with Epstein, but then banning him from Mar-a-Lago means that he knew or had speculation that he was a creep, and then banned him from ever getting close to him once again. Meanwhile, other people like Bill Clinton had accusers say Epstein said, referring to Bill, he liked them young. And Bill Gates' wife allegedly divorced him because of his ties to Epstein. And then there's Prince Andrew, who paid off a victim who then later committed suicide. That is just a theory I have. However, I think they should release the files no matter what. Anything else you'd like to say about what you saw here at Jeffrey Epstein's house?
No. You knew it was a school before. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Big school, very well known. Birch Waltham still exists.
Just nobody chatting, Cindy. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those days. Everybody's hanging out in the background. That's okay. They can stay in the bushes. They're listening.
Which school?
In
private.
Wow.
That's why the building is as high as it is. Yeah.
So this was a Jewish private school before.
Yeah.
And Who bought this house for Jeffrey Epstein, or how did he afford it?
Wexner.
And who is he?
Do we all know who Wexner is? Do we know who Wexner is? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to take a guess? Leslie Wexner? No, some are in vertical, some are in horizontal. I mean, you know, hey, you hang out where you want. Yeah, K-Swan's in vertical, Virgil's in vertical. Yeah, it's okay. Oprah and all other peeps and Jack Squat is nuts. Okay, Claro, but anybody know who Leslie Wexner was? Leslie Wexner is a male. He also owned Victoria's Secrets, The Limited. Yeah, you're listening to, oh yeah, K-Swan's in vertical too. She's listening. So Leslie Wexner is the owner of Victoria's Secrets. Imagine that. Do we see any connection here? Yeah.
School, very well known. Birch Waltham still exists. Jewish school.
Bath and Body
Private.
Works.
Wow.
That's why the building is the size it is. Yeah.
So this was a Jewish private school before.
Yeah.
And who bought this house for Jeffrey Epstein, or how did he afford it?
Wexner.
And who is he?
He owned the Limited, probably other things.
Les Wexner is a multi-billionaire who was one of Epstein's clients from when Epstein randomly went from a math teacher to running a money management firm for billionaires. Wexner was one of Epstein's only known clients, and Wexner gave him the power of attorney, which allowed Epstein to buy and sell properties and make large deals in Wexner's name. And this is how he got the Manhattan home. Wexner's ties and affiliation with Epstein are a mystery, but he plays a key role in Epstein going from a math teacher to billionaire. And how deep do you think this Epstein thing is? How many people do you think were involved in this operation?
Oh, tons. Who can put a number on it? I personally don't think Epstein committed suicide. I think he was murdered because he knew too much.
Do you think Trump's a pedophile?
No. He loves women, though. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here. We're going to discuss Elaine for just a second. Okay? Ghislaine Maxwell. Woo, my words are screwed up today. She says she can clear Trump's name in the Epstein probe. This was from yesterday. She can clear Trump's name in the Epstein probe in exchange for clemency. For clemency. Yes, lifelong, yes, Leslie Wexner. They call him Les Wexner. Yes. Hey, Content, how are you? And Sue Hamblin, it's good to see you, hon. So, Ghislaine Maxwell sentenced to prison for 20 years for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to abuse minors, sent a clear message to Donald Trump Monday. If President were granted her clemency, she would clear his name of any wrongdoing as it pertains to Epstein. The extraordinary overture, stated Maxwell's lawyer Monday morning during her virtual deposition before the House Oversight Committee, ensures the Epstein saga will continue to remain a political hotspot. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump, attorney David Oscar Marcus said in a statement during the deposition, which he later posted on X. Only she can provide the complete account. Some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Marcus also said that Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to that explanation. Trump has not ruled out the possibility of offering Maxwell a pardon or commutation. Trump and Clinton, who appear throughout the files released by DOJ, have denied any wrongdoing related to Epstein. House Oversight Chair James Conner called Maxwell's decision to plead the Fifth very disappointing and said lawmakers have many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed, as well as questions about potential co-conspiracy. Democrats on the committee accused Maxwell of trying to buy her clemency by refusing to testify. We will not allow this silence to stand, Democrat Republican Melanie Stansbury said. When asked if he would subpoena Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick as part of the probe, Comer said he was going to focus on the 5 depositions coming up. The Clintons are expected to be here behind closed doors later this month for depositions. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. Guess what? That happens. Here we go. Alrighty. And welcome in, all you newbies I hadn't said hi to. Yeah, very blatant. Very blatant. Yeah, she needs to stay. Yes. Absolutely. I would think he was involved if he did pardon or commute her sentence. It would be very, very telling. So let's watch this one. It's a short one. It's 16 minutes, but it kind of goes into talking about the committee saying that she shouldn't get to invoke her Fifth. Doesn't get to invoke the Fifth.
And we turn now to the latest here in Washington, with the calls for transparency surrounding the Epstein files continuing to grow, both in the halls of Congress and by survivors.
And we will go over, I have some of the survivor video pulled up, some of their and again, like I said, this goes back into trigger warning with our little squishable things for to hold ourselves down from throwing things. Okay, we can throw tomatoes in chats, we can throw rocks in chats, we can do all that, but I need my own little device in my hand to squish for my own sanity. This is a lot. So yes, I think he's covering his tracks and trying to make it look like he's not involved. So yeah, I do have some of those videos pulled up. So again, this is a very triggering conversation, and always protect your own mental health.
Even after the Justice Department's release of millions of Epstein-related documents last month. It comes as lawmakers are getting their first opportunity today to review the unredacted versions of those files. Congressman Jamie Raskin.
This was also yesterday during the deposition or the meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. They were able to review, some of the lawmakers were able to review some of the unredacted versions of all those papers, and they had a lot to say.
The top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee spoke to reporters this afternoon after getting his first look at those unredacted files.
There were to be no redactions in order to spare people embarrassment or political disgrace. We didn't want there to be a cover-up, and yet what I saw today was that there were lots of examples of people's names being redacted when they were not victims. And so we still haven't gotten from the DOJ their privilege log explaining why certain redactions were made. But I can tell you.
So why would they redact certain names if they didn't have anything to do with any crimes? Are they just trying to cover up the fact that they were around and involved with this person? I have questions.
That I saw a whole bunch of them that seemed very suspicious and baffling to me.
Lawmakers today also expressing frustration with the lack of answers from Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, who invoked her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination today during a deposition before the House Oversight Committee and refused to answer their questions. In a statement, Maxwell's lawyer saying, quote, if this committee and the American people truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency.
We get typos all the time. I'm used to typos. I can read typos.
To answer their questions. In a statement, Maxwell's lawyer saying, quote, if this committee and the American people truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. A lawyer going on to say that Maxwell could clear both President Trump and former President Clinton of wrongdoing. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle reacting.
As expected, Ghislaine Maxwell took the fifth and refused to answer any questions. This obviously is very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed, as well as questions about potential co-conspirators. We sincerely want to get to the truth of the American people and justice for the survivors. That's what this investigation is about.
The fact that this woman is continuing to invoke the Fifth Amendment tells us exactly what my colleagues have already stated. She is a monster. She does not care. She has no remorse. She is not seeking to bring about some kind of closure for these women.
Meanwhile,
and that's the exact truth. Why can she not help bring closure for these women? That's the worst thing. I have a list. Virginia Guffrey, Sarah Ransom, Shantae Davis, Sarah Keller, Annie Farmer, Michelle Licata, Courtney Wild, Shauna Rivera. I mean, I've been sitting here writing, making notes these last few days. And I'm just like, can we not give these women closure and help them? I've like I said, I have just inundated myself with reading, and I'm like, I can't get it out of my head right now. I live 10 minutes from Mar-a-Lago. The property was originally owned by Marjorie Merriweather Post from the General Mills. Oh, interesting, Cindy.
Epstein's survivors calling for even more transparency from the Justice Department, releasing this PSA on Super Bowl Sunday. Take a look.
Yes. Yes. During the Super Bowl game, this played. I'm not kidding. Saturday, I had sat up and watched and documented and wrote notes about what I was watching on the Epstein documentaries. And then Sunday, during my time of downtime, enjoying me and my husband watching Super Bowl, this ad pops up and I'm like, my mind goes into whole triggering Epstein thoughts again. I couldn't get out of my head. So this was the Super Bowl ad.
Releasing this PSA on Super Bowl Sunday. Take a look.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
Joining me now.
Now, if that didn't grab your heart, it was very chilling to watch. Very chilling. Yes, Post cereal. Post General Mills Post cereal. That's what Cindy was talking about. And, you know, I kind of have to agree with that. Yeah, and if that didn't grab my mama heart, it hit me. It hit me.
Talk more about this. Democrat Congresswoman Melanie.
And then, not to totally throw the whole conversation off, but then when Bad Bunny played the Choose Love Not Hate campaign.
Stansberry of New Mexico. Congresswoman, thank you so much. I know you're going to see the unredacted Epstein files tomorrow. What will you be looking for?
Well, you know, there are a lot of unanswered questions, but I want to clarify that the Epstein Files Transparency Act was very clear that the Department of Justice was to release all files except was able to redact files that either would reveal the identities of the survivors or include child pornography or acts of violence. And the Department of Justice is breaking the law right now. Not only have they not complied with the subpoena that we issued at the end of the summer, they have only released about half of the files that they have in their jurisdiction, and they have over-redacted files, including unmasking survivors, which the law told them not to do, and actually redacting files that implicate co-conspirators and potential perpetrators. So I have a list of files I'll be looking at. Department of Justice spent many years investigating these crimes. We know that there are at least a dozen potential co-conspirators who are named in various DOJ files and investigations. I'll be looking at specific emails where they redacted the names of individuals while discussing actual
Sure, we're open to chat. I don't mind sharing. We just try to keep it very respectful, and that's all I ask, but I don't mind you sharing.
Sex crimes with minors with Jeffrey Epstein. I'll be looking for the files that were completely blacked out, including the files in the Southern District of New York, as well as the memo that was internal work product of DOJ to understand why they didn't prosecute these crimes. So we have a lot of materials that we plan to go over tomorrow at DOJ.
And when you see this material, will you be able to come and tell the public what you found, or is there some prohibition about what the Department of Justice has hidden from the public?
My understanding is that they are not allowing members of Congress to bring recording devices in to view the computers, but we can take written notes, and I certainly plan to fully provide a full accounting of what I see in the files.
Okay, let's talk more about some of the things that you've talked about in terms of how other countries have responded and taken action against their leaders who were named in the Epstein files. To be clear, at this point, there's nothing that we know that specifically implicates President Trump, but are you suggesting that he should be removed from office over the contents of these files?
Well, listen, 9 or 10 countries have now opened investigations or pushed their leaders to step down, not just because of criminal activity, but for mere association with Jeffrey Epstein because of the stain that it brings on the leadership of those countries. But let's be clear, there are literally over 1,000 potential victims of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. And we know that there are dozens of men who participated in crimes and sexual abuse of women and minors. And we know that Donald Trump was in fact investigated by Department of Justice. His name does appear in DOJ slides in the actual investigation of sex crimes. So to say that he is not implicated is not true. It is actually in the files, and DOJ was tracking this. So part of what we're after looking in the unredacted files is what have they not released? And I think it's important to understand that going back to the Epstein Files Transparency Act, they are still holding on to half of the materials that they have deemed too sensitive to even put out into the public domain. So there are a lot of unanswered questions. I think that there are a number of officials, including Donald Trump, Howard Lutnick, Elon Musk, and others who've been named in the files that need to answer for their association with Jeffrey Epstein, and certainly need to answer whether or not they were involved in potential crimes.
And if Democrats win back the majority, do you believe that that should lead to a subpoena of some of these cabinet officials or even President Trump to answer some of those questions that you have?
Well, it shouldn't have to wait until Democrats win back the majority, because if my Republican colleagues would step up and do the right thing, then we could actually subpoena many of the individuals that need to answer to Congress right now. And so, you know, one of the things that I think is really important, if you look, for example, at what is happening in the UK, the parliament is demanding accountability for national leaders. We need other Congress people here in Congress to stand up and demand accountability from the president and his cabinet. And they can do that today. They don't need to wait till the midterms to do that.
Okay, let's talk about today's deposition with Ghislaine Maxwell. Obviously not that very fruitful. She invoked the Fifth Amendment during her deposition. Notably, she did not do that when she met with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche in July, but that was because she was granted limited immunity. Should that be on the table in this conversation? Should she be given the opportunity for some level of immunity or clemency so you could get these answers that you're looking for?
I'm going to pause there just for the moment. What do y'all think about that? I mean, do you really think she should get any type of clemency or anything for giving these answers? That would be my exact answer. Fuck no. Absolutely not. I mean, what would be... No, she should just be honest and do her time and say it is what it is. She deserves nothing. Negative. Yeah, here we go. This is worldwide, whether the people are victims or monsters. It's not just UK is no better. You're in the UK. Stormers dodgy. Yes, I have some stuff from the UK also that I will throw out here too. Oh, absolutely, content. I'm doing it on both. So if you don't want to be in the vertical over there, you can come over here to the horizontal. We're in both. You just exit out, go back to the channel, and choose the other option. Some people prefer vertical. It is what it is. I just enjoy everybody being here, taking your time to spend with me. So thank you all for being here. Well, yeah, what does she have to lose? I mean, do her time. I mean, I just don't see not one day off her time. Absolutely. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. There's no reason she should just be honest. I've always said that through all my streams. You stand on your word. You're honest. You say what you mean. You mean what you say. We don't mix words. This is not word salad. This is not word salad. You just say your truth. And I guess some people just can't just do that, which is sad. Totally sad.
Well, first of all,
or clemency. So in this conversation, should she be given the opportunity for some level of immunity or clemency so you could get...
And that's what I'm trying not to do, court sir. I'm not trying to look at this politically. I'm trying to look at this as human beings. These are people out there. These women need closure. They need somebody to stand beside them, behind them, in front of them, whatever, to help with their closure. Not this runaround bullshit that we're getting. I'll give you this if you give me that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Miss Maxwell. Speak your fucking truth and be done with it.
These answers that you're looking for?
Okay. It's okay. I don't mind.
First of all, when she was sent the subpoena and called to appear before Congress for this deposition, she requested immunity because she claimed at the time her case was pending in front of the Supreme Court.
Is that an odd way to stack your shirts? I'm sorry.
Requested immunity because she claimed at the time.
This is my problem of watching things. I hope she's like standing in a store where all these shirts are for sale. Or she's not like in a closet with these colored shirts. I'm sorry, my mind, y'all know my mind just goes squirrel sometimes. Wait. Y'all know what that means. Y'all, my OGs know what that means. Hold up. Look, I didn't even open my unmute. Look, squirrels are out. I done lost my mind. I seen the colored shirts all over here and totally lost my shit. Is this somebody's closet? I'm sorry. Your brain does the same thing. She has to be in a store. Welcome in, Blue Ryan. Denise knows me and my squirrels. Denise been here from day one. She knows me. I'm telling you, my mom. So is this somebody? This is somebody's closet, y'all. This cannot be a store. It's somebody's organized closet. Okay, I'm sorry. Right. I'm with Cindy. It does not matter which political party or county that some country doesn't matter involved. Everyone should be exposed to the abuse of the children. For the abuse, they need to all be called out. It doesn't matter. These children do not deserve this. So I'm sorry for my whole, the logo on the yellow shirt. They're all, I think this is a polo. Look, I'm gonna do me and my Mrs. Kravitz. Y'all see that? That's a polo shirt. That's in that polo brand. Y'all see that little logo over there in the corner? That's polo brand. I don't know what that is, but this one right here is polo. So yeah, this has to be somebody's closet of their certain colored shirts that they like. Y'all, I'm telling y'all my squirrel moments. You just don't understand why she's been moved and enjoying your channel. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I know, my eagle eye, y'all. It's just one of those things that it's those squirrel moments of I have to look.
Time her case was pending in front of the Supreme Court. She was granted an extension before she had to appear for her extension, and now she's filed this last-minute habeas petition in the Southern District of New York and is claiming that her Fifth Amendment rights are being invoked for that reason. But I think it's very telling that she not only had her lawyer make a statement in the deposition, but then he put it out into the public domain, and you read it, that she would invoke her Fifth Amendments unless she was granted clemency. Let me be clear, that's not how this works, my friend. If you are subpoenaed to speak before Congress on a matter, you are allowed to invoke your Fifth Amendment rights to protect yourself from further incrimination, but you don't get it as a quid pro quo for a pardon from the President of the United States. And so that was a message to President Donald Trump saying that she would essentially absolve his sins if he would grant her a pardon.
Okay. Congresswoman Stansbury, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Joining me now to talk more about this, NBC News senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson, who's been closely following the Epstein.
Okay, so now they're going to go back to where they went to review the files.
Survivors' reactions to all of this. And NBC News correspondent Hala Gorani, who is in London, where this is creating turmoil in their government, pretty shocking turmoil. Hallie, let's start with you here. I mean, how are the survivors and their families reacting?
See, Content Angel, thank you. She was attending a Polo Ralph Lauren event in this image. It was called Victories of Athletes Ally in North Carolina 2015. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, they don't. They don't play. Princess out. Princesses out. I do so hope for each other. Yeah, I know. I was reading a whole lot about that.
To this Maxwell decision to invoke the Fifth Amendment during her deposition?
They didn't want Maxwell to speak to, they didn't want Congress to speak to Maxwell in the first place, right? Like that was something, and survivors are not a monolith, but the survivors that we've been talking to were furious that Congress was even taking into account a woman who they have described as a predator. They say she is not trustworthy. They say she is not honest. It was interesting to hear your conversation with the congressman there because
you're my biggest troll. You were trying to figure out where the shirts were. I know, y'all know me and my squirrel moments. I see these shirts and I'm like, wait, I need to know more. You're my biggest, well, next to Hannah, you're my biggest troll, but y'all are my two favorite trolls. I love you, girl.
One of the things that came up, this clemency issue, that her attorney has suggested she would be more willing to speak freely, Maxwell would, if she was granted clemency. That is one of the several things that have infuriated some Epstein abuse survivors about all of this here, that the idea that clemency would even potentially be on the table, that President Trump hasn't ruled it out. The other thing.
And see, and that was the other thing. President Trump hasn't ruled it out. Excuse me? Yes, we heard that right. President Trump hasn't ruled it out. She needs to go back to her previous jail. Nothing's changed. She's not any less guilty now when she was sentenced originally. CIAP, you are absolutely correct. I totally agree with you. And the fact that he hasn't ruled it out, excuse me? What?
That I think has really infuriated some survivors is the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell remains at that lower security prison camp that she was controversially transferred to last summer. And we're hearing today from the siblings, the brother and sister-in-law of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, one of the most prominent Epstein accusers who died by suicide last year. They're saying that we ask Congress to support our continued efforts to ensure that Maxwell is held fully accountable for her actions and placed exactly where she belongs, in a maximum security prison. They go on to say, we ask you to continue this fight with us and every survivor, to continue this pursuit of justice with the tenacity and strength of Virginia, not out of vengeance, but out of justice. And I think that gives you a sense of sort of where the survivors are, as many of them are looking ahead now to this hearing, high profile hearing, potentially explosive, with the Attorney General later this week.
And let's talk more about that, because we saw this PSA that many of the survivors released around the Super Bowl this weekend. They want more transparency. What are they looking for from Pam Bondi in this hearing?
They want more commitments that more files will be released, that this redaction issue that has been dogging these survivors really from the jump since December, Ryan, when, as you know, that Epstein document drop first began to unfurl. They want to see that handled. And I think they want to hear that there will be the pursuit of justice or accountability or something else in this process. When the Deputy Attorney General, we've heard from him, Todd Blanche, when he came out and suggested, referred back to that memo last July that suggested there was no evidence to be found that warranted further criminal investigation, that was extraordinarily upsetting to some of these survivors. So they're going to want to hear more from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and candidly, any kind of communication, because while there have been some representatives we understand that might have been in touch with the DOJ, some of these survivors have said to me, hey, I've asked for meetings. I want to talk to this administration, and they are not talking to me. So I think that face-to-face potential, again, not in the hearing setting, but perhaps in the room or outside in the halls, I think could be critical.
I mean, I think we do lose sight of that sometimes, don't we? That it's not just about getting this information out there. It's about this information being out there and leading to some level of accountability.
And there is obviously a
And that's true. That's absolutely true. The information coming out and leading to accountability. Now, that accountability being somebody saying, yes, I was there, I seen this. These women are completely telling the truth. And why is that not happening? Watching, and I stopped to say that because I was going back through my notes. There was a gentleman named Steve Sully that worked on the island in 1999. He ignored everything. He's seen Clinton there. He's seen Prince Andrew there. He was in the documentary Filthy Rich that I watched over the weekend. Why hadn't he said anything? In the documentary, he said, we just knew to close the door. When he said that, I was like, what? Excuse me? You were paid to be quiet, basically. Which totally angered me. Totally angered me. Yes, after Jeffrey's death, FBI was concerned over Guthrie. Yes, Virginia Guthrie and her interview. Months after his death, now her mother's gone. Yeah. It's just like, his name was Steve Sully. His name was Steve Sully. He was in the Filthy Rich Epstein episode that I watched over the weekend. So yeah. Yeah, right. Not me. Y'all know me, Miss Kravitz. I'm peeking through those blinds and I'm going to tell fucking everybody what's going on. My nosy ass. Yeah, and you're right. They probably fear for their lives. And I also agree with that. Yep. And they need to just come forward. Because there was doctors and nurses involved. In the emails that I have read about, oh God, some of these emails I have read are just scary. So yeah, you're Mrs. Kravitz too. And there you go. Need to tell her what's up. Get the info. Put her in max security. And yeah, she's not the only one. And who else has been arrested besides her? Nobody. Not that I'm aware of.
Prosecute critical.
I mean, I think we do lose sight of that sometimes, don't we? That it's not just about getting this information out there. It's about this information being out there and leading to some level of accountability.
And there is obviously a prosecutorial bar that would need to be reached in order to pursue criminal investigations. These survivors, many of them are saying, hey, let's at least explore that. Let's at least see. And I thought it was notable that you heard from Congressman Jamie Raskin today. It is inconceivable that you would have these years and years and years of abuse being committed by Epstein and only 2 people be criminally charged.
Right.
Didn't we just say that? All these years, and there's only 2 people that have been charged. So I don't usually ask, but if you don't mind, there is 82 people here. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up and giving me a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. I usually try to stream Monday through Thursday, but it's been a little hectic in my life, so I'm just getting back to streaming again. So, and I appreciate you all for being here. Yeah. And I found out he was also at the island. And that disappointed me. For some reason, when I read that Michael was at the island, I got a little disturbed. I got a lot. Let me rephrase that. I got a lot disturbed. Was not what I expected to hear. It bothered me. I enjoy Michael Jackson. I always have. Michael Jackson. Yeah. So just kind of shocked me. In the meantime, these girls watching their abuse be televised. Exactly. And it's traumatizing all over for these girls. You have to imagine and again, this goes back into the mental health part of things, is it has to be so traumatizing for them to have to relive this over and over, and each week new information coming out and them having to mentally and emotionally deal with this. Again, this goes back to the mental health part of my stream, is this affects so many, because not only it affects those that it happened to, but then people like myself, and I'm sure there are hundreds, if not thousands, out here on YouTube in these little sectors we watch that have happened things like this too before, that hearing this, we relive it mentally and it affects us. I've learned to deal with my trauma by speaking about it. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can speak on their trauma. So I want this to be a safe place for everyone to come and chat and talk about it. So keep that in mind. And again, if it's too much for you, I totally understand. Totally understand. So what are y'all saying in chat before I carry on? Because yeah, I just went on a whole squirrel rant. My biggest part is that there's not a reality check. Well, welcome in, reality check. New name, haven't seen you before. The biggest problem is that there's not enough evidence. Allegations alone cannot convict someone. The saddest part is that it took so long. He was first under investigation 2005. That is correct. And I do believe yeah. I was trying to find where I wrote that down at. I don't remember where I wrote that down at. Yep. Absolutely. And they were also, George Rush was interviewed and did a plea for solicitation of minor prostitution, and it was $100 per account, which is the same fee for jaywalking, was what George Rush was charged with during all this that went down. He was also described in the documentary. We're not going to say that out loud, but you can all read that, which caused a lot of questions because we all know he was spilling beans right before he passed. Well, I think that was going to happen, and because then Trump was redacting on that for a while. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this will stay up. I always leave my lives up. I don't put them behind paywalls. I don't do anything like that. So yes, Mary, you're more than welcome to watch later. It will be up. It will be up. I don't hide my streams. So what I say is out there for the world. So absolutely.
So we're talking about accountability. here in the United States. Let's talk about it on the other side of the pond, and that's in the United Kingdom. Hala, the fallout from the Epstein files there just hasn't been limited to the U.S. UK's Prime Minister Starmer's chief of staff resigned over the weekend over his decision to appoint Peter Mandelson as the ambassador to the U.S. despite his ties to Epstein. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, the latest batch of Epstein files has revealed closer communication between the former UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, and the convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. And as a result, you mentioned that there, Ryan, one of the top aides of the prime minister in this country, Keir Starmer, resigned, taking responsibility for having advised Prime Minister Starmer to appoint Peter Mandelson to the post. Now, Peter Mandelson resigned from his ambassadorial post. But the latest batch of Epstein files, as I mentioned, revealed closer ties and also potentially, and police are investigating this, having shared secret documents with Jeffrey Epstein. So this is something that's being investigated. Politically, it's having huge ramifications. And obviously, this is something that is putting tremendous pressure on the prime minister, Ryan.
Yeah, and let's expand on that, because as far as I know, the prime minister is not mentioned at all in the Epstein files. Despite the fact here in the United States, President Trump's mentioned repeatedly. But could there be enough pressure around this situation with the prime minister where we could actually see a change in leadership in the United Kingdom?
It is absolutely possible. Now, his cabinet ministers today are standing by him, mainly some analysts say, because there are no contenders that are in a very strong position to replace him. But the pressure on him has grown to such an extent that the leader of the Labour Party in Scotland has called on him to resign. And this is why Prime Minister Starmer called a meeting today to get the support of his cabinet ministers. But there are by-elections and special elections in the next few months. If the Labour Party underperforms in those races, then it is possible that Keir Starmer's days are numbered as prime minister, Ryan.
And it's not just the prime minister, the royal family, of course, taking quite a bit of heat. They've put a new focus on former Prince Andrew's connections to Jeffrey Epstein. What's the latest, and how's the British royal family responding?
Well, talk about pressure, political pressure. This is tremendous pressure on the king himself. He's breaking his silence on this Andrew Mountbatten Windsor situation. This, of course, is the previously known as Prince Andrew. The royal family, they're releasing, or Buckingham Palace, I should say, releasing a statement, and I'm going to read it here to you. The king has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions, referring, of course, to stripping Prince Andrew of his titles and his royal role. He's made clear his profound concern at allegations which continue to come to light in respect of Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct. While the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them. Their Majesty's thoughts and sympathies have been and remain with the victims of any and all forms of abuse. So there you have it. It's pressure on Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, and also on the royal family here, Ryan.
Okay.
5. Thank you. Lawmakers question Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay. We already watched about that one.
No way supplant the discharge petition or
okay. We're going to pass through. Okay. So, let's see.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, so we're gonna take a breather. We're gonna watch something a little silly for a minute because that's a lot, and y'all know I gotta switch it up. Comedy in the chaos. Y'all know I always try to put a little bit of comedy in it, which as comedy as we can get with this nut crazy job over here. This was Tyler Oliveira. I don't know if you know who Tyler Oliveira is. He goes places that people shouldn't go. He is crazy. He always seems to be a rebel, and he always is a rebel and doing crazy things. So there, I dropped it in chat, so if you'd like to watch it without my commentary, he goes and he snuck over to Epstein Island. And he's quite comical. So let's listen to him for a little laugh and just kind of change it up for a second and not be so serious.
On his private island swarming with security.
Oh my God, we've been detected.
Shoot me if you dare! What are you hiding, Epstein? Made it to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Epstein, where are you? So the first part of this scheme was to get our hands on 2 jet skis while being goofy tourist vloggers asking if there were any nearby islands we should take a look at while we toured the ocean. Should we go through Little James and Big James, or those no-nos?
No, don't go through there.
They'll shoot us. What will happen?
Somebody's island.
Oh, it's privately owned?
Yeah.
By the government?
No, private.
What would happen? Not that we would ever do that.
I don't know, but you don't want to find out?
Easy. We're good then.
You watch Netflix a lot, right?
No.
Good for you.
Okay, all right. Captain Isaac, we're out.
And that was what I watched Netflix, the episode Filthy Rich. So if you want a very good documentary on Epstein, that has a lot. You've seen him. He's funny. Yes, Courtster. He is hilarious. And I'm telling you, Tyler Oliveira goes to places I don't think I would go in broad ass daylight, much as I would at night. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa. It's more personal. Well, nice to meet you, Lisa. I was just used to seeing Courtster, but I will call you Lisa. Nice to meet you. Glad you're here.
Okay, we're gonna go straight there and then right. I'm on the...
And Jess, I hope you figure that shit out, okay? And yeah, good to see you too, babe.
Jet ski, we have this for like 5 hours. We need to do this quick before we get detected by authorities and our jet ski guys, because they are super sussed out by me. We're headed to Epstein's Island. What can go wrong? And after 15 minutes of driving this jet ski like Tom Cruise, I had made it to Epstein Island, Little James. And we made it. You can see the temple. I don't know who's there, what security measures they're taking. There's probably government watching, and there might be personal security on the island. As I got closer to the island, it was clear I wasn't alone. Okay, we have made it to the island. Look at that sign. Private property, no trespassing. And there is Epstein Island, Little James. There's a boat on the island.
Yes, and by the way, just for the knowledge of what he said, all right, Jess, I got you in the background. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Epstein Island. Just for it's called St. James Island is the actual name of the island, but his little area, they called it the Island of St. Jeff on his little area. So that's where that came from.
Trespassing. And there is Epstein Island, Little James. There's a boat on the island right now. The question is, who could it be and why? There's literally someone right there on the island. Okay, we have more people. Look, there's a whole operation out here. Look at this. A golf cart, people that work here. We have a dog. Who is this man? Okay, we have another person.
Well, since you asked, Content Angel, I had already pulled that up because you know me and my nosy ass. Let's see here. I did pull that up. Course, and I hid it amongst something else that I can't find. So his little private island, Little St. James, are currently owned. Here, let me share this tab instead. It's owned by billionaire investor Stephen Deckoff. Through his firm, SD Investment LLC, Deckoff purchased the pair of islands in May 2023 for $60 million. It was a significant reduction from the original $125 million asking price listed by Epstein's estate. Deckoff is the founder of the private equity firm Black Diamond Capital Management and has been resident of the U.S. Virgin Islands since 2012. And he announced his intentions were to transform the property into the state-of-the-art 5-star world-class luxury 25-room resort. As of February 2026, no major construction for the resort has been reported. Recent public record shows Deckoff has only requested a permit for an 8,800 square foot concrete warehouse on Little St. James to replace existing metal structures. So, yes, he got it at a bargain, right? I was sure, I was trying not to go political with that, but I think you might be onto something.
Bigger woman and her dog. Probably security or maintenance, but hired by who? A new owner? The government? I'm not sure. But it turns out Epstein's Island is for sale by Epstein's estate for over $125 million. Why is there
See, if I just would have let Tyler continue talking, he would have told us this, damn
still
it.
so much security on the island if he's dead? And what are the owners of Epstein's Island still hiding? Are they headed in my direction? This is a little bit eerie with a giant woman. And now they are leaving. We're gonna have to beach somewhere else, or we're gonna have to do this quick. We need to get in and out, or we're gonna get shot, I'm convinced. So I was just gonna whip out the drone, see how many people are on the island itself. I've already seen 4 people launch the drone. Go, my child, find the truth, inspect the area. Now, while at first it seems like a normal island a billionaire might abandon, once the drone flies in a little closer, you begin to notice these carts driving across the island. But who are they and what are they protecting? And then, once the drone started getting closer to the temple, this weird white building on the highest point of the island where people believe it was used for evil satanic rituals, our drone began to experience unexplainable signal interference. All right, signal interference. We lost it, so we've lost the drone. They've interfered with the drone. We don't have control. Now, it's important to note that in the last known footage of this temple, the temple was painted in this blue-gold pattern, and there's a giant sundial adjacent to it. This now means that the sundial was recently removed, and the temple was completely repainted white. So the question is, what are they covering up? And then I saw this. See a guy building right there. Look, literally right there. Look, look, look. Yep, there is another golf cart coming this way. Oh, it's going to get the drone. Okay, don't get caught, Pasha. There he is. There he is. Who is this man? Who is this man right here? We're going to storm the beach like Normandy right now, get on the island, and hopefully not get shot or apprehended. After barely pulling the drone back in, after losing signal, and confirming this place was swarming with what we believe to be armed security, it was time to storm the beach like Normandy. There's the temple! And that was exactly where I was headed. Mysterious stairway, almost like it's inviting us to enter. Okay, we have another no trespassing sign right there. No trespassing sign right there. And after a full peripheral scope of the island, it was now time to infiltrate. Hey, go! Pray for me. Yeah, sure. Let's get on shore. Okay, I'm on the island. The temple's behind me. I'm going straight for the temple. There's the arches right there. Let's see if I see this. They're running out. The wrong fucking turn. I had made it to the beach undetected, and I was headed towards the temple. Now, with this temple as the source of the signal interference, it was only logical that there might be something hiding there waiting for me to find. And keep in mind, this is a rough map of the island, and right now I'm here. And this is where I'm headed, forcing me to essentially sneak up a cliff to hopefully avoid security. Don't get fucking arrested. Jesus Christ. Using all the skills I learned from playing video games right now, I'm atop the hill. We have not been detected yet, which is surprising.
Right?
Drone in the air. There's Tyler. And my basic strategy here is to find something to hide behind, regain my breath, and then run as fast as I can, slowly making progress to the temple and avoiding security along the way. My cardio's gassed. I'm gonna keep going on this road. Looks like it's built for go-karts. Let's keep going. We're going for it, baby. I think we've been detected. We've gotten to the side. I've not been detected yet. I see this. It's like an unfinished home. We have that right there. I'm getting cooked out here in the sun to the temple. This thing's steep as a mountain.
Okay, look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. My lazy ass. Lola, you have a nightmare? Lola's having a nightmare. I'm sorry. That's not me. Lola's having a nightmare. Dude, he's got a lot of he's got a lot of energy to be climbing this thing. I could never do this. Mm-mm.
Slowly but surely. Okay, we're going up. We're going up. Okay. There's the temple.
You know, Stella Normandy, as they're storming the island like Normandy. Welcome in, Stella Normandy. It's a crime scene, yet they sold it, and no information was provided about why it's excluded from investigation. That's interesting. Very interesting. I never really thought of that. Yeah, she's having a little nightmare over there. Yes, your Luna, my Lola. She's sleeping on the couch. She's probably dreaming of, thank God she's never having babies again.
I might just climb up the hill. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, let's do this. Once I go up there, I'm kind of screwed. I don't want to get shot. It should probably be loud. And with my massive calves, I scaled up the side of a literal mountain to Epstein's temple, still somehow undetected.
Undetected this far still. You think they'd buy security cameras or something?
With only the open road standing between me and the temple, it was time to go for it.
Okay, we made it to the temple. We made it to the temple. Undetected thus far. This is the temple where crazy stuff went down. Look at this. Look at this. Blocked off by steel. Blocked off by wood. Pasha, over there.
Come on, Tyler.
God, if you're alive, protect me. Came through there. Weaved my way all the way up to here. Look at this. There's a giant cliff here, by the way. Giant cliff, and then...
This is Epstein Island. Island of St. James. In the island of St. James.
Everything's boarded off. The entire place looks to be repainted. It used to be blue and yellow. A ladder right here, almost as if they just repainted the place. And this is literally pure white now. Someone took a dump right there. This is the place where evil things went down. In this temple right here, there used to be a giant sun compass that was removed, apparently. There's a bonfire right here. Maybe where they burn people alive or not. I've gotten up here successfully, undetected. There's like a speaker right there. But beyond that, seems to be low-level security right now. Okay, there's a sailboat coming in right there. That's not what we wanted to see. Right now, it's a race against time. Hopefully I don't get to jail. Horrid things went down here. Look at all these benches. Very out of place benches, right? You have benches right here, bench right there, bench right there, bench right there. Look at that. This makes no sense. I'm gonna go back down, see if we can examine the estate. This time I might have to go blitzkrieg. Now I just need to run. My pants were literally falling off. Looks like an unfinished construction pathway. Let's see what's inside. I don't know where all the security went, but I've yet to remain detected. They might be on their lunch break, boozing out right now. I just can't breathe behind this rock.
He said boozing out right now. Sir Tyler Oliveira, behave. Behave. Hey, look, and that's an interesting way to put a rock. How'd they get that rock up there? We got some Stonehenge going on right now. We got some Stonehenge how'd this rock get up there?
Behind this giant, oh my God. I don't like that rock. There appears to be, oh my God. I don't know who this is. I'm running. He's got fast stuff on foot.
As I ran away from security, I saw this.
Oh no. They got me. I need to run.
Now, security was right behind me, going full speed in my direction.
Oh no. Can't stop me.
I can't exactly understand what they're saying, but they're screaming at me the whole time.
Run! Oh, I'm good. We're good.
He said, pause that video. Tyler says, nah, we're good. We're good.
We're good. I'm out of here. We made it down here. Once we get to the beaches, we're good. A brand new pool right here. We seeing this? Security behind me. They're not as fast as me though. Gotta keep going. Good training for this day.
And I don't know how he could run that fast after climbing that hillside like he just did. Good Lord.
Oh, he's coming.
As I began to run away, Pasha notices this, pulls the drone in, and begins zooming over on his jet ski to pick me up, right as I unknowingly approach a cliff.
Uh-oh.
And at this moment, it looked like I had no choice but to jump.
I'm going down.
He's 20, right?
Going into the water. Pasha needs to pick me up. Okay, made it into the water. Security is just to apprehend me. I'm swimming as fast as I can, waiting for Pasha to pick me up. Come on, Pasha. Shoot me if you dare! I'm in international waters! What are you hiding, Epstein? What are you hiding, Epstein? What are you hiding? Waiting on Pasha. Let me get away. There's Pasha with the jet ski. There's my getaway jet ski. We're getting out of here. I escaped. All right, we're making out. Give me a tip. Give me a hand. All right, easy. They thought they could get me. Now grab the handle. All right, go. We escaped with all the footage. I'm touched. I breathe air. You suck.
But as we zoomed back and made our way to the airport, I saw this. I think we're being followed by a Fed right now.
What are you, class 3,
I think we're being followed by a Fed right now. Did y'all see how that ended? Right? I was thinking that too. You know, if he chatted with security, they may have given him a tour and said, hey, you know, you want to know here, let me show you. But I don't know. His jerky. Whew. Okay. So we're going to go on, and this is where we're going to get a little more serious. We're going to start talking about some victims. I found a video that was a little disturbing. Epstein had quizzed about being a sexual predator. So I'm not monetized. I will say the words. Yeah. So this is a little rough to hear. So if you need to leave, I totally understand. It was good. It was a little beautiful island. Yeah, I thought it was a great video too. Just kind of a great, just little monotony break of just everything being so traumatizing.
Sexual predator?
Tier.
What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
What's tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
Is your money dirty money?
If you live.
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
No, it's not. So, in fact,
why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it.
But you earned it. We went back to this before. You earned it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right?
And I keep thinking about that. How did he become a teacher to where he is today, other than situating himself in a position with people of power? And he took the knowledge that he had and made something of his life that is totally disgusting.
That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
You think it's a legitimate question?
Yes, no question. Because ethics is always a complicated subject, but I can tell you that with the money I gave to help try to eradicate polio in Pakistan and India, instead of asking me whether that money was.
And you do see this. The interview does not appear on screen, but it's believed to be Steve Bannon, who is Donald Trump's former chief strategist.
Should be given to these children for vaccines. I think you might want to ask their mothers who received the vaccine, who know their child now won't get polio, and ask them if Epstein should have helped these people.
If we walked in, you're a mathematician. We walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness.
Now, just because I can, right, I don't think it was a real teacher. Yes, Maxwell's father got him in cheating at an elite school. It was an Ivy League school. Right, he was a mathematician. That's true. Now, I'm going to share this tab instead. So this is to search this full Epstein library. So now we know Steve Bannon was involved with him. So I put Steve Bannon in the search right here. This stuff comes up. There is 1,856 results with the term Steve Bannon in these Epstein files. Let's click one just to see. Yes, I'm 18 years or older. Huh. These are text messages. If possible, let's talk, Ari Miro. Steve Bannon. Miro expecting your call. And you want to be in New York week for 24. Roger. Miro waiting. Called. Did you get him? I wonder who Miro is. Voicemail. Miro swapping calls. Is Patton flipping meaningful? They all connect to Tom Barrack. Oi. How was Marlago North? Grand Dune, very nice guy, wealthy family, deeper in Manafort than he ever told anybody, hates Trump. And here's the article for it in Business Insider. And they're throwing out pictures. Yep, it begins. Travel safe. He's here. I'm in New York tomorrow. Where is here at? So Steve Bannon is in Venice. Great. How's it going? Epic. Just sent you a CNN piece. So that's just one Steve Bannon search. So, I mean, you can see there is so much here. Nadler, Rear giving up. Amazing how much he hates DJT. Do we all know who DJT is? I'm told that 20 years ago, Donald called him a little fat Jew. He never forgot. It will be pinata time. And here's Steve Bannon. Trump problem is that seems to trigger tough Jews, Nader, Weissman, Schiff, etc., who are known killers with leverage. Yes, Nadler is a politician. And they're blocking out who this was between. So this is between Steve Bannon and somebody, but they're not telling us who. It's redacted. I can't even guess. Can you explain to your boys that the linchpin in the Middle East is Qatar? Blockade lifted, they can help on many fronts. Many. I'm heading to AD tomorrow. I think I'm getting Bolton on board. At least he's an adult. Bolton is only doing what Sheldon Adelson tells him to do. I got John the job, but he will not cross Sheldon. I don't even know what to say about this stuff that I read. How do we get there? So there's just some info on Steve Bannon. He's involved.
And told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, it's
the lowest.
But again, like they said earlier when we were first watching, it said that there are things that are redacted and not redacted, and people involved that's names are being in there that had nothing to do with the fuckery that went on. So just because they're in there, they're spilling truth of things that they feel they know, but may not necessarily be detrimental to the case. They may just be things in there that, right. Exactly. A letter full of lies can be sent saying they were hurt or AR'd by certain people. They know the files will be filled with these fake accusations. FBI's knows are fake, but they can't throw them away. I mean, so list the reasons for the redactions. I don't have a reason for the redaction. Do you have a reason for the redaction? What are they hiding? Who was it he was having this conversation with? And why is it in the Epstein files? And why is it that only part of it's redacted? I have questions. Right. It's like a Monopoly game. So many people involved, and they're only naming few. Right. They're naming bigger names. So who are the smaller names that are not naming? Again, we go back to the lady that was telling us in the very beginning about the Pakistani people left the country when he got arrested because they didn't want to be questioned. When the Epstein brothers called the FBI tip line to report GJT was involved with his brother's unaliving. Yes.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you told them, if I told them the devil
himself.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
The devil himself said, I'm going to change you dollars for life. What does that mean?
If you told them, if I told them the devil
100%.
the devil
himself
said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
Why are we talking cryptic? What does that mean? I have a good mirror?
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody knows
smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel. And the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie.
Footage comes after shocking emails that Sarah Ferguson told Epstein, just marry me. Let's see. I do have that email. Hold up. Give me just a second. I should have had it pulled, but I didn't. Nope, that's the jerky emails. Maybe I don't have it pulled up. Okay, I don't have it pulled up. And pledged, I am at your service, just months after the pedophile was released from jail. Yes. So this was also an email, and I did see that email. I can try to find it. Let's see here. Damn it, I should pull this one up for him. But you see, there's all kinds of stuff in here about her. I mean, they don't. She had lots and lots of email communication with Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I can't find it right now. They might bring it up. Fergie called him the brother I never had. She gave him $75,000. He gave her $75,000 to pay her rent. She later wrote saying, "You're my only friend to get to Andrew," but didn't break off the friendship. She was sucking up for cash. We all knew about her epic spending and credit issues. She spent time in New York touring her book, paid debts. She and Epstein's probably go way back. Yep. Also emerged that Andrew sent pictures of Eugenia, her sister Beatrice, to Epstein over Christmas in 2011 and 2012. Up to 2 years after Andrew claimed he had cut off contact with the pedo billionaire. So you think, yes, they do have great content on this. And I have a few of those pulled too. So, I mean, this goes way back. And even after he found out, even after Prince Andrew found out, he was still in contact and still carrying on. This image of whatever Andrew is doing here, I have no idea, but yeah, what the fuck? I don't know.
What did you think of the latest release of Epstein Files, and do you think?
Oh, okay. So this is they interviewed Trump about these Epstein Files. And I believe it was yesterday, because this is a very new video.
What did you think of the latest release of Epstein Files, and do you think your critics will be satisfied with?
Well, they should be, because it looked like this guy Wolf, who's a writer, was conspiring with Epstein to do harm to me. And I didn't see it myself, but I was told by some very important people that not only does it absolve me, it's the opposite of what people were hoping, the radical left, that Wolf was a third-grade writer, was conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to hurt me, politically or otherwise, and that came through loud and clear. So we'll probably sue Wolf on that. And maybe the Epstein estate, I guess. I don't know, but we're going to certainly sue them.
Right.
The Epstein estate?
Well, you may, I guess so, because he was conspiring with Wolf to do harm to me politically. That's not a friend.
All high-profile figures named in the files deny wrongdoing. Well, of course they're going to deny it. I mean, and that doesn't, and just because a high-profile figure is named doesn't mean that they did anything wrong. And that's what, we need to keep in mind. Just because they're named doesn't mean they did anything wrong.
Today we're reading what may be one of the...
Okay. So this is, this was 7 days ago. This is Cuff Boys. This is a little hard. We're going to give a trigger warning on this. We're going to give a huge trigger warning on this. Okay, so this is going to be information about a victim's diary. This was stuff that was within the diary. It's a little shocking. It's a lot shocking and a lot disturbing. I will drop the link for this if you would like to watch without my commentary.
The darkest and most disturbing pieces of evidence connected to the Epstein case, a victim's diary. This isn't just emails and rumors. This is a real person's life that was pretty much destroyed by these people, very rich and powerful people. Disclaimer now, if you don't want to know bad details about this, then you might not even want to watch this video. All right.
He has a point. He has a huge point. If you don't need to hear these extremely horrific details, now is your chance to exit. This gets a little graphic, and a lot of these had originally, it said confidential, attorney eyes only on it, and they have been deleted out on some of the pictures and some of the letterings. It gets a little disturbing, so please mind your mental health.
Here we go. Page 1. The confidential attorney's eyes only is all over these documents, obviously. Just looks like she had some red paint in. So this victim was smart enough to do some sort of, coding. And I've looked into this a little bit, and people said this is like a 2-rail coding where basically it starts at the top letter, then goes down to the bottom one, then back up to the top, back up, down. So this says, "So sorry, Jeffrey." You see how it says "So sorry, Jeffrey" there? It's kind of hard to read at first. "So sorry, Jeffrey. These things happen when your body has never been given time to properly heal. So it came out in the toilet and I didn't know what to do. So I just flushed the tiny little You have made me numb and I hate you for this. I hope I never have to see you again. I'm not your personal incubator. Where's the baby? Where's Ghislaine?" I mean, there's no words for what we just read. Just that off rip is so disturbing because it basically tells us that they were stealing her babies. And it gets worse. Look, she even put a clipping of death in there from some magazine. There's a lot of magazine clippings in all this. "Blend in, hate this city." And this is another clipping from a random magazine of a Toyota ad maybe or something. And she's talking about her hatred for New York City at this point, because that comes up later on, how she hates New York City because of stuff that's happened to her in New York City. And now this is something from 1961, which I looked up the lyrics because I think it's lyrics or a poem or something. I couldn't find anything for it. Maybe I'm an idiot and just missed it, but crazy shit. You can pause and read it if you want to, but I'm going to keep going. Now the next.
Let's actually read that. Says, "I am blamed for everything, but she didn't answer. I couldn't understand her stupid behavior. When I hit her, she held still like a true pacifist. Then I realized what she wanted was for me to love her. She began to warm up. I saw her advantages. Without me, she wouldn't exist. So of course she was grateful. I gave her a soul. I bloomed out of her as a rose blooms out of a vase of not very valuable porcelain. And it was I who attracted everybody's attention, not her whiteness and beauty, as I had first supposed. I patronized her little, and I lapped it up. You could tell almost at once she had slave mentality." What the fuck is this? What is this I'm reading?
Which I looked up the lyrics because I think it's lyrics or a poem or something. I couldn't find anything for it. Maybe I'm an idiot and just missed it, but crazy shit. You can pause and read it.
"I didn't mind her waiting on me, and she adored it. In the morning, she woke me clearly, reflecting the sun." No.
To, but I'm going to keep going. Now, the next thing says, "Background photo of a courtroom with the words, 'Our stand, you should never be here alone. He should.'" So she crosses this out. And here's the picture they're describing. "Our stand, you should never be here alone. He should." What I'm gathering from this one is that she wants someone to be in the courtroom here.
So basically, she was making a journal, and I find it very commendable. And the fact that they found this journal and is able to report on it is amazing.
I'm guessing Epstein, facing justice in the courtroom. He should be there alone. "Through a child's eyes, protect the vanishing children," she writes. Vanishing children. I mean, this shit is just, it's heartbreaking. It really is. "What I wanted was a place where dreams did not stop at dawn. Flashbacks. I won't let pain keep me from surviving." I mean, this girl, I believe she was 16 at the time. This is so sad. "In the danger zone. Background photos of New York City," and quote, "Who could have predicted this? I should have. So sad the city could be beautiful if it weren't filled with monsters. The blood from Leon is no longer there. She's talking about Leon Black, the billionaire, who I'm going to talk about a lot in this video, who is pretty much the devil along with Epstein. I mean, it is fucking crazy. This guy has no criminal charges. So this is what they just, decoded or whatever. Pictures in New York City they were describing. So this is
And just for reference, if we go back over here and we type Leon Black, it is insane. 8,211 results. So he was all up in Epstein's mouth.
another page of, coded wording, decoding. Tomorrow is the halfway ultrasound for Jeffrey. This one stuck. After they took the first baby who survived, and
this gets very triggering. This gets very, very triggering. So I have my squishy. Yeah.
Ultrasound for Jeffrey. This one stuck. After they took the first baby who survived, and the early miscarriage, I think it was called, I no longer feel like a person but a vessel. The first baby who survived, they took her first baby, and then she had a miscarriage. And this is all as a teenage girl. And it gets worse. Will they take this one too? Who has the first one? Where did Ghislaine go? She is never around. I can't let myself get attached. By the way, Ghislaine is the person the government just met with and put her in a nicer prison and gave her a pet. Need I remind you about that? The government said, oh yeah, we'll put you in a nicer situation while you live out your prison sentence. I can never let myself get attached. I'm not old or mature enough or even in the place to have a baby that I would be responsible for. I mean, this is so... These people all deserve to die and be tortured that did this to her. Honestly, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not even able to focus on anything other than hiding this again. I had to go to eating disorder treatment prior to being in the situation again and missed the entire fall semester of school. I'm so very exhausted.
You heard that right. School. She had to miss school. So how old was she again? Yeah, you are right. I also have found a video of a woman who claimed she was also a vessel. I think he said 16. Yeah. Very gross. Very sad. Yes. And that's why. Exactly. There has to be doctors. There has to be nurses. I don't know about teachers, but as far as the school knowing or anything like that, I'm not sure. But there had to be doctors and nurses involved that knew this was happening. And nobody spoke up. Nobody said anything. How exactly, Penelope? How can anybody defend this? How?
Body feels so tired. Will I ever be free? I'm fucking pissed reading this. Here's the page that they just...
And rightfully so. He should be pissed. I'm pissed even hearing him read this. So evidently, yeah, so far. But how much longer did this go on before she got out?
Decoded, and then on to the next one. I'm such a monster. I didn't console her. I can't unhear her screams. They haunt me. So now this is a victim blaming herself for what's happened to her, hearing her baby scream. I couldn't even bring myself to look at her. I'm a monster. I deserve to be haunted by her screams. I'm sorry. I'm so broken. And here's the page from her journal. I'm such a monster.
Yeah, you have to be able to read. You have to go up, down to be able to read. So I, A, M. So it go I am, and then you go SUCH for such a monster. IDIDNT, didn't console, CONS. She had a very distinctive way of writing her messages, which was amazing.
I didn't console her, and a picture of the sonogram, and then another clip.
A picture of the sonogram.
Clipping of 2 kids that she put in here. I mean, dude, that's the first link. Here's the next exhibit from the same girl, I believe. You're kidding. Clipping. More coded language. Can she help? Went to the party at this huge house to meet this man named Robert and his pretty wife Jill. Same exact British lady from Clearwater was there. She talked to me all night. She wants me to come to her house in Florida so I can learn new things. To get away from Mary, ? Now, I've looked into Mr. Robert and Jill. I can't really find concrete who they think it is, but now we got another page here. On her own, an old lady and a young lady. The little girl lost. You always think you're prepared for everything, and you think you have the knowledge of what's coming ahead. Suddenly, the insignificant, ugly duckling was obviously going to be a swan. Fly anywhere you like, drowsy side effects. And here's the decoded version.
Fly anywhere you like, drowsy side effects. Ding, ding. Does that ring a bell for anything? Did we not hear? I remember hearing stories of women getting on planes after they were rugged. I remember hearing stories about that through some of the victims.
No one can prepare you for this shit. I'm so fucking lost. Why did Mr.
And why does this resemble somebody else who is currently incarcerated? Money, power. I have questions.
Colgan agree to this? Jeffrey treats me like I'm a special property, and when I need Ghislaine, she is working and Mary is just as batshit crazy as my mom. So now she's calling her own mother crazy. This girl's family made her do this. Like they sold her probably to do all this. Joe Gibbs is so nice, but Dan Snyder is a pig. As a Redskins fan, this is disturbing. I'm from Southern Maryland, so what the fuck? I mean, I've known Dan Snyder is a piece of shit, so this doesn't surprise me. But Joe Gibbs, man? How does she know Joe Gibbs? Very disappointing. The other girls, well, some are nice, but 3 I hate. Alice and Wonderland, for them. Another page about traveling to New York, Madison Avenue. I was crying out for help, helpless, evil, and pain, hate, raging, really sick. You should call 911. I mean, dude, like each page is just so bad, man. Walk down Madison Avenue to 71st Street. My mother has lost her mind, even though Ghislaine said it was best to take me home because Mr. Black is so important for some reason over my health. Leon Black, dude, piece of shit. You're going to hear about more what he's done to this girl. There's going to be hell to pay. I ruined their trip, and I'm dramatic when that fat fuck bit me. He threw me on the floor, and blood all over Jeffrey's carpet, and I'm the issue? Who the fuck bites someone? Sick. No one is that important, and Leon can go f himself. I hate New York. So this is what I was talking about earlier about this girl hating New York. This guy, Leon Black, apparently has multiple girls that have come forward saying he bites them. And they're all too identical and too fucked up to be lying about it because he's talking about biting their private parts. Stop dead, Leon Black. A squeal of brakes, or is it a birth cry? Oh my God, she underlined shit. Wow, this is crazy. She's underlined birth cry, fatso millionaire. It's violent. Goddamn baby screaming. There's always
A squeal of babies, or is it a birth cry? And here we are hung out over the dead drop. Uncle Pants Factory Fatso millionaire, and you out cold beside me in your chair. The wheels, 2 rubber grubs, bite their sweet tails. Is that Spain down there, red and yellow, 2 passionate hot metals? Writhing in sight, that sort of scenery is it. It isn't England, it isn't France, it isn't Ireland. It's violent. We're here on a visit with a goddamn baby screaming off somewhere. There's always a bloody baby in the air. I'd call it sunset. Whoever heard sunset yowl like that?
a bloody baby. Your 7 chin still as a ham. Goodbye, heartbreak. Picture of a sonogram. Protected from the little girl lost. Me. I am so sorry. I keep failing. Another page with a sonogram. I mean, just look at how fucking sad this is, bro. Next to sonogram photo, I heard the heartbeat even when she put her hands over my ears. Aren't pictures of...
Heard the heartbeat even when she put her hands over my ears. Why did they do that? What kind of traumatizing bullshit were these, I don't even call them people, doing to these young women? What is happening? Why should they even do that? What is...
Next to sonogram photo, I heard the heartbeat even when she put her hands over my ears. Aren't pictures enough for them? Torture. So they're taking pictures of them. Should I deeply miss them? Have these all been murders? Does this make me a killer? This shit just makes my blood boil, bro. Another page. Doesn't matter how far away you are, no matter how good you think they are, even the old president, they will get you. Which old president? He should have been thinking of Chelsea. Gross.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Did anybody else catch that? No matter how good you think they are, even the old president, they will get you. He should have been thinking of Chelsea. Thank you, Savage. You put it first in chat. Thank you, Savage Optimist. I'm sorry. And he's gonna go and testify. I want to know. I want to know what he's got to say. I need to know what he has to say. I'm dumbfounded.
In a plane, on a yacht, in New York, in DC, at the Vineyard. On the island, in Palm Beach, it doesn't matter. Disgusting pigs like Alan Dershowitz and Mr. Caruthers and even Mr. Islam.
And I believe it's Alan Dershowitz. I think that was a misspelling. That's just my thought.
More hurt you, especially if Ghislaine is busy or not with you. Yet another page with a sonogram. So heartbreaking. I think I'm going to break. Why would they allow Mr. Leon Sis wait this long? Why would he bring a friend to make a video? I'm so broken and the procedure was so painful and blood all over the sheets.
Are we not traumatized? Because I'm disgusted.
I can't play this game anymore. I have to ask Elaine for help. If anyone can make it stop, it would be her, ? She was so scared because I got so sick and was burning up with a fever. She put me in a freezing cold shower. I can't do this. Mr. Rails and Mr. Ian, blood on their hands. But so does Jeffrey and Mr. Jacobson, Mr. Conway, Mr. Vredenberg, and Bills. All of them who don't care.
And did she just not say his first name? But I want to know who Mr. Rails is, Mr. Ian. Are these doctors? Mr. Jacobson, Mr. Conway? Who are these people? And what were their involvement, and why? What did they know that they've kept quiet all this time about? I'm so disgusted, Cindy. I'm so disgusted. Like I said, I've been reading this shit since last Thursday, and it is just George Conway. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure who George Conway. Now I got to Google because I don't know who that is. Oh, ew. A lawyer, activist. He's a goofy looking dude. Okay. He's a little weird looking, but yeah. Right. They called her Madam G. Sure did.
If this happens. So this is Mr. Leon Sis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Owner of the Washington Capitals. So yet another DC sports team. This girl was from Virginia, by the way. That's why a lot of this is the powerful people in the DMV area and New York, because it's on the East Coast, all very close to each other. I mean, what the fuck, bro? How did these guys not have criminal charges? And here, I believe, is Mr. Vredenberg, just another wealthy person, businessman. The last document I just read of all that was deleted from the DOJ website. I wonder why, because it straight up names multiple billionaires. That's why. All right, more journal from the 16-year-old girl, obviously 16.
16. Yes, Kellyanne Conway's husband. That's right. I forgot that till I seen the picture of him, and I seen the picture when I Googled and went, yep, know who that weirdo is. Whew.
Old enough to drive, too young to go anywhere fun. Happy sweet 6.
Old enough to drive, too young to go anywhere fun. Happy Sweet 16. I'm sorry, what?
Love you. Happy birthday. I don't know the name there. If someone can let me know. This says Heart Tanya, I think. Funeral, watches and weeps, lays to rest. There's a reason. My mom lied about Mr. Glickman all the time. She lied about work trips, about Michigan, and about Clearwater. Now he is dead and I'm being sent to live with her friend. Back and forth for how long? I always felt very attached from everyone else. I knew I was going somewhere different, that I was in the wrong show. Fueled by father's love. Computer technology, the sister. Why Vienna? She's always in charge. No understanding. Stealer of souls. So once again, this is her writing in the clippings with her own words next to it. Just coloring in the pages. Not very relaxed. Thank God my parents picked me up for being a Rockefeller. The plane Mr. Dana had me on was scary. Both he and Larry Summers are fucking disgusting. Hope no relation to Tracy. A Larry Summers mention, and Rockefeller is getting brought up too. Charles 32 courts his teen queen. I guess it's a royal thing. Gross. Andrew is like his brother in this way. Redacted should not brag because that was yucky. So talking about Prince Andrew.
Wait, what? I guess it's a royal thing. Gross. Andrew is like his brother in this way. Redacted should not brag because that was yucky. Andrew is like, whose brother? Andrew's brother or Epstein's brother? Because I've heard a few things. Whose brother? I need to know. Again, me being nosy, Mrs. Kravitz here.
This way. Redacted should not brag because that was yucky. So talking about Prince Andrew and redacting someone, I don't know if it's a victim or not, but and now here's one of the Trump mentions, because clearly this is about Trump. She puts an Ivana Trump clipping next to this, and this is the coded language decoded. Does this lady know you can't have any if you've been with him? I know I have none, only Skittles. This is obviously in reference to Trump and this victim having been with him. She's not talking about Ivana. It's bad to be little. Oh my God. One more. You can't tell. Who knew? Story of a different America. No protection, only comfort. From G. I think she's talking about Ghislaine. All convenience. People come to your party for two reasons. One, because they like you. The other, because they like to touch one child. Really, each page is hard to read, bro. I can't even put into words like what I'm reading. Concerned everyday problem, nausea. I'm so very sorry, little one. A sea of grief. This is.
She's talking about her unborn child inside of her. Concerned everyday problem, nausea. I'm so very sorry, little one. A sea of grief. This is birth control. Remember, you know our names.
Birth control. Remember, you know our names. Redacted. What are these bets? And why do I have to take photos? I'm so lost. Mr. Modi, Mr. Robert, Mr. Sant, Mr. Ludwig, all these names. This portion is cut off from the scan, but it doesn't.
And who are those names? Were they doctors? I don't know what Skittles means. Only thing I could think of was some kind of medication.
Stop there. It never stops. Take your tablets. That's how I survived. Oh my God, it seems like they're making her take some sort of medicine or something. It makes me think it's like Plan B or something. Why didn't anyone stop it from the start? Nothing gets remembered. Got it? You have to either sink or swim, and you have to learn that very fast. I swam. More clippings. Ladies, man, terrible guy. With a gift for giving girls. Tragic childhood. You only get 365 of these a year. This poor girl is so strong for doing this, man. GM, is that Ghislaine Maxwell? Please explain they know and won't talk about it. I could be wrong. I don't know if GM means that, but how much do you need to see to know she's beautiful? No one picking up more dirt than his girls. So what's the difference between us? Who else actually like me? Oh my God. I'll fight to survive with sensitivity and grace.
Right. Wow. Who else actually like me? So how many other were there? Well, they are in here. I will drop this. This is the search page, and you can put in your own search words to search for your own files that you would like to try to find. There's a lot of files, so it's really, really hard to get down to them. So I was able to pull up some, but it was a lot easier for me to be able to show y'all and us listen and me react as a reaction channel, as I normally am, just a reaction channel to what these other ones are reviewing. So that's how I brought it to you this way.
Oh, you have everything to lose. Never forget where the real beauty comes from. Beauty is inside. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't speak. She doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking. It's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough? The doctor was different again. I think from Israel. This world.
Doctor from Israel? Let's rewind that. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Don't speak. She doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking. It's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. I'm gonna let him finish.
It's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough? The doctor was different again. I think from Israel. This world is evil, bro. He had kind eyes, but didn't speak directly to me. This was different. A shot and those rod-like things had a hook and so much pain. Ghislaine said to push all the pain away. I don't understand. Blood and water all over the bed, and she was right. Like a feeling when your tummy hurts and you have to push. She said to close my eyes and put her hands over my eyes, but I didn't close them because of these tiny cries. I'm so lost. I saw between her fingers his tiny head and body in the doctor's hands. It reached his tiny arm up and had a tiny foot. I closed my eyes and no more. Yeah, legit.
I'm not going to rewind that. But do you see? Yes. Awful, awful secrets of what they were doing to this 16-year-old.
It can't take much more of this. Cries. I don't understand. Just say these things happen. But he doesn't believe that. They yelled and screamed, and he said, we'll all be the same in a couple of months. And she said she was fed up with all of it. I don't understand what is going on, and no one will tell me. I can't go to school like this. I can't stop.
Go to school? How in the world is this 16-year-old supposed to go to school and make grades and learn and be a normal teenager? The insanity is absolutely off the charts of what these people have done to this child.
Shaking. I want anyone to make it stop. I know Ghislaine is trying, but nothing changes. Why didn't I close my eyes? In the hall, Ghislaine said she was beautiful. She was, not is. She was a beautiful girl. I heard her. Where is she? Why did she stop whimpering? She was born. I heard the tiny cries. I can't do this anymore. This is so bad, man. Short tragedy. My heart is breaking. X is out, stillborn, and just puts born. He was right, a couple of months and 2 pink lines with a hold on being with others until after it was positive. I want to die. Why didn't she protect me? As long as I'm wearing what you want, there's no respect for me as a human. I'm nothing but your property and incubator. You only trust me when I'm under your complete control. I would never trust another man ever. I'm the one who provides and sacrifices everything. I give and give out terror, and you take all of me. You need me to continue keeping us all connected. Unlike drugs, a child's body can be sold over and over. Oh my.
Unlike drugs, a child's body can be sold over and over. How disgusting of a human being can you be to treat a 16-year-old child in this manner?
God. Oh, these people need to die. They just need to die. This is not surprising, but there is no such thing as a child prostitute.
And she wants immunity, commute her sentence? Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. I try to be nice to an extent, but no, absolutely not. Are we not listening to what this child is telling us? And we're just supposed to say, okay, you tell us the truth of your truth, and because it's going to let Trump off, we're just going to sweep it all under the rug, and you can go home, girlfriend. Excuse me? Fuck no.
Their children die. They just need to die. This is not surprising, but there is no such thing as a child prostitute. They're children and cannot consent. They're missing the biggest in my own backyard, and so many more, like Mar-a-Lago, and where I see Mr. Joe and Miss Ann. There's too much.
Where? Excuse me? Excuse me? Hold up. They're missing the biggest in my own backyard, and so many more. Like Mar-a-Lago? like Mar-a-Lago, and when I see Mr. Joe and Miss Ann, who's Joe and who's Ann? I have questions. And what's going on at Mar-a-Lago? A word I can never say right. Mar-a-Lago. You know, that place over there. I can never say that word right. I'm sorry, what?
Backyard, and so many more, like Mar-a-Lago, and where I see Mr. Joe and Miss Ann. There's too much evidence for Trump not to be involved in this. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck what y'all are going to comment. I don't give a shit. Our finance department deals with all the paperwork. Unfortunately, the finance department is also family. Oh my God. I mean, that's basically her saying, it sounds like her family's selling her. Who knew I was born a slave? Life in a paralegal universe. Please release me from this torture in hell. A clipping about this, controlled all by Jeffrey all the time. Get away from it all and go to New Mexico? What in the hell? This makes no sense. What about school? Behind the scenes? He's now controlling everything. When it used to be Ghislaine, who some days act like she hates me. Secrets of all of them. I'm tired of keeping the secret. I know people are wondering, but I can't tell. I'm exhausted. Broken promises. I don't understand why she's treating me on some days like I'm an enemy. But then we lay in bed together and she is how I used to be warm. He makes her feel my
I feel like I'm hearing shit I shouldn't be hearing. I want to go la 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 la. I don't hear this. But we have to hear it to understand that this is what is going on. The real world out there. This is really what's going on. Yeah, that should be a word I should type in and see what comes up. Okay, let me back this up just a second.
Enemy, but then we lay in bed together and she is how I used to be warm. He makes her feel my tummy and it's so sad and confusing. Superior gene pool? Why me? It makes no sense. Why my hair color and eye color? This feels very Nazi-like, but I'm thinking about these stupid, insane theories he has. I guess in his mind, it makes sense.
We're manufacturing babies for this man? What is happening? Yes, and they're all just trying to cover it up. Just cover it all up.
The piano and music comments are made to convince me this is right and will create perfect offspring, he calls them. What am I reading, bro? Piano or viola?
Okay, see, this redhead dude, he could be my kid. He could be my kid. I like him. He's got that red hair going on. I like him. He thinks like me. He wants to punch walls like me.
And will create perfect offspring, he calls them. What am I reading, bro? Piano or viola? I'm starting to resent them both. I miss the person I was before. I was made into what feels as a human incubator. Oh, man. And this is the page, obviously, of what was just decoded. I mean, this girl's so smart for doing this because this really does look like a bunch of random writing. At a certain point, it would maybe stop someone from wanting to put in the effort and trying to read it. My friend redacted realized much of everything and came to me to get out of Mary's. She made me leave all the things of value in the bed. She put all my belongings in trash bags. I may have avoided New Mexico. I've been staying with friends, but never more than 2 or 3 nights because my mother is on the warpath. Oh my God, her mom was looking for her to get her back there. Redacted has been so great, but Redacted saw me changing and knows about the baby. He said he promises to help me and we'll figure out what to do. Oh my God. My heart belonged to her. She was so very beautiful. She was perfect. I can't bring myself to write what happened. I'm beyond broken. I only got 10 to 15 minutes to hold and feed her before they took her. She is mine. I want her back. Distraught. Help me. Please, can't anyone find me? Barely survived all those procedures. My heart is gone. These clippings make it so much worse when you see them too. April 22nd, I had no choice. I wasn't ready and she wasn't ready. My mother had found me and it was urgent. After so many bonding moments with Jeffrey and Ghislaine, their baby inside me, with me in the middle, she wouldn't even look at me. We said nothing to one another and I was so confused. When we arrived at Palm Beach, I was taken to a house close to
A bonding moment with Jeffrey and Ghislaine, their baby inside me, in the middle, inside me, with me in the middle, and she wouldn't look at me. What? So this poor girl is pregnant with the baby, and they're laying all up in this bed with her. What the fuck is happening? What? It's disgusting. Disgusting.
wouldn't even look at me. We said nothing to one another and I was so confused. When we arrived at Palm Beach, I was taken to a house close to Jeffrey's, I think called Ocean Boulevard or Street, but it was close and I was alone except for the new driver, not Mr. Juan, an elderly French lady whose pictures on the wall didn't have her. She had a thick accent and was kind. She had been born to deliver babies and had been doing so before I was born. Similar as the one with...
What? She had been born to deliver babies and had been doing so before I was born. An elderly French lady whose picture's on the wall. She had a thick accent and was kind. Similar as the last one with the shot and something. Hook. Oh, I don't even want to read that out loud. Yes, Elizabeth Smart, and she now has a YouTube page. And if you ever look her up on her YouTube page, it is the most beautiful, enlightening page. I totally enjoy her YouTube page. So yes, if you have a chance, Elizabeth Smart does have a YouTube page now, and she's been putting out little shorts, short videos, little 10-minute videos, and they're talking about, she's actually talking about her trauma and stuff like that. And it's very heartwarming that she's able to be where she is today. So if you get a chance, yeah, definitely go look up the Elizabeth Smart YouTube page.
She had been born to deliver babies and had been doing so before I was born. Similar as the one with the shot and hook, but too much blood with so much water and unbearable pain. She put her hands in...
You do know, understand. I know us women sitting here listening to this know exactly what's happening in this conversation.
Inside me and seemed worried. I didn't understand. Something about the baby facing the wrong way and putting, oh my God, pressure on the placenta. Things would have to be different. She said I should be brave and strong and listen to her directions so she could help safely get the baby out. I was terrified seeing so much blood on the bed and floor and started to panic. I don't know if I can read much more of this. I'm getting close to the end of this, but this is just so fucked up, man. She had me flip over to my hands and knees and had me push and push. It was so excruciating. I could feel everything as she tried to guide the baby out. I was worried, but I was so tired. I thought I was dying, but suddenly she had caught a beautiful baby girl who had made more than a whimper, but beautiful cries. She let me hold her and washed her and brought her back clean and perfect. She smelled so good and showed me how to feed her. But only after 15 minutes, Mr. M came to take her. I was hysterical. I was begging for more time. She said those horrible girls were in the car waiting, but I wouldn't let her go. The old woman promised me she would be safe and I had to let go. 4 pounds, 10 ounces. 5 inches long with beautiful long fingers. I'm dead inside. Life has no meaning. I don't want to be here. Jean Luc Burnell is a model scout who's dead now. He was known to be involved with Epstein. Disgusting pig with bad breath, and I'm almost positive does this disgusting things because he's struggling with maybe being gay. 6 weeks wasn't even given before being sent back. Punishment for trying to ghrun. Why can no one help me? Ghislaine is gone. I'm so lost and my heart is broken. Is this my destiny? I need them, everyone, all to see. I still always dreamed to build a better world. She went from being a beautiful young girl to a sad, broken child. But maybe a hope that after all, I still truly had it within herself. One day I aspired to be like this. She came in like a lamb and went out like a lioness. And then the last picture of the journal is this little girl. I've been drugged and R-worded, 7 hours knocked out of my right mind. Something is gone. He's been burning me with cigarettes. I myself, that is not enough. My ribs show what have I eaten, lies and smiles. I dream of someone else entirely, and he, for this subversion, hurts me with his armor of fakery. How did I get here? Criminal. I die with variety, hung, starved, burned, hooked. I wish I'm dead or away. That, it seems, is the impossibility. That being free, what would the dark do without fevers to eat? What would he do without me? That's all I'm going to read for today. I already read for like over an hour. So if you want me to keep making these videos and reading more shit, let me know. Hit subscribe. Love you guys. Peace out.
One of the most disgusting and unsettling.
This video is 20 minutes long, and this kind of goes over the same thing we already read. So I'm going to flip over this one.
This week has been.
So this was put out 5 days ago, and it was put out by TMZ. I do believe this is, they're going to talk about some of the files. Hang on, this might not have been the one that I wanted to. Yeah, I think we're going to, after this one, we're going to end for the day, and we're going to pick this back up tomorrow. We'll be on here about 2.5 hours. So we're going to watch this one, and then we're going to watch a couple palate cleansers. just to kind of get us back okay emotionally before we close out. But this has some interesting information in it.
An absolutely wild week for not just the country, but for the entire world. After the DOJ released millions of new documents last week, people are still finding things in this release that are raising questions about what exactly was happening in Epstein's inner circle. And I mean, just for an example, this FBI document that talks about an alleged complaint regarding 2 foreign girls allegedly buried on Zorro Ranch that died from alleged strangulation from rough fetish, and the supposed videos that came along with it. I'll get into that later. But right now, Polish authorities are digging into the possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was a Russian spy. On Tuesday of this week, during a government meeting, Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, reportedly said more and more leads, more and more information, and more commentary in the global press all relate to the suspicion that this unprecedented pedophilia scandal was co-organized by Russian intelligence services. This can only mean that they also possess compromising materials against many leaders still active today. Now, what I also want to bring up, according to the New York Post, Putin's name came up nearly 1,000 times in the batch of Epstein files that were released. And there are almost 10,000 references to Moscow. The Kremlin has since denied that they had any ties to Epstein. I want to show you something regarding the Epstein files and Trump. Take a look at this clip of Trump getting questioned about the Epstein files, and I want you to notice how he reacts.
Yeah, what do you want? On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned 2 names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally black.
Okay. Body language here. Body language. Okay. I'm going to rewind that. The 5 seconds, I'm going to rewind it. Watch when she asks the question. He shrugs his shoulders. He talks about she talks about the victims, and he shrugs his shoulders. This triggered me. I'm not a political person, but when you're speaking of victims, it really bothered me.
Sure, they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally.
Did you see that? A lot of women are worried with the redactions that came out. He shrugged his shoulders. I'm sorry. That disturbed me.
Totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something.
Again, and I'm not here to be political. I'm just judging for his actions, for this particular action. I do not like talking politics or religion. That's not my thing. I'm just bothered by the way he reacted to that question. To be as cold-hearted as to shrug your shoulders to a comment like that was very telling.
So, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what do you?
She said, listen to what she says. This bothered me really bad.
But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what do you say?
She said something about getting justice, and he said something that people care about. I'm sorry, people care about this. That's my problem, is I care about the victims. I care about the trauma that they have endured, and to keep going through this over and over again repetitively because we can't just get facts and answers. Y'all know I've always been that way. You stand on your truth. You say the truth. You stand on it. We don't fuck around. It is what it is. This bothered me.
What would you say to the survivors who feel they got
people get onto?
And then he ends up going off on this lady. So this is also what triggered me too when I seen this. I was like, why is he going off? She's simply asking questions pertaining to the victims. That's all she's doing. It doesn't matter if this was Joe Blow down the road. We don't respond. I'm sorry. In my opinion, let me rephrase this. In my opinion, a person who's speaking to you about trauma issues of women that have been horribly abused and mistreated, you can't have this reaction, sir. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable for my mechanic down the road to act like that. It's not acceptable for my father to act like that. It's not acceptable for anyone, in my opinion.
Something else.
Well, that's true.
Like
healthcare,
something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel they got
you are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile in your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're.
Why does he feel that way? That is the video of what we're watching currently, Savage. Yeah. Why does he say she's not telling the? Who is he to judge whether she's telling the truth? Yes, exactly. It's a deflection. It's a deflection. And it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate no matter who you are. I would never treat anybody that way. And I don't want to be around people treating people that way. It's very inappropriate.
A very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead.
So right there, he's being questioned by a CNN reporter about the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. And then he goes on to say, like you just saw, we should all just move on from this. It's not really that big of a deal, which is definitely an interesting take. Now, I want to move on to a file that is deeply disturbing if it is true. What you're looking at right here is an unclassified file from the FBI. Now, this document states that a man named Edward Aragon, who owns his own radio show where he conducts his own extensive research into the Epstein files, filed the complaint to the FBI that he allegedly received this email. Now, I want to say that whether this email is real or has any validity to it, we have no idea, but we do think it's interesting. Everything stated in this email, again, is alleged and has not yet been proven. But the email reads as follows. Edward, this is sensitive, so it will be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all, as a former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein home as my insurance in case of future litigation.
Now, I don't know if he's going to read it all, but he's saying about future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What's damning about Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madam G. Both died by strangulation during rough FSEX. Here are the video footages, and there's a 13-minute, a 27-minute, a 12-minute, a 19-minute, a 7-minute, a 23-minute, a 15-minute. And it says these are S with a minor, a threesome video, an underage girl S video, an underage girl Matthew Mellon video, I don't know who that is, an underage girl R fantasy video, and girls from Bay Area S attempt confession to Madam G. Please arrange for 1 Bitcoin by 6 p.m. Thursday to the Bitcoin wallet address, and it puts an address in here. So I don't know if he's going to read it all, but I wanted to finish reading it in case he didn't get to finish it.
Against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What is damning about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know that somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madam G? Both died by strangulation during rough fetish. It's then followed by supposed links to these videos, and the sender subsequently asks for 1 Bitcoin for the physical USB containing these videos to be sent to Aragon. Now, this gives us a very interesting look into the dichotomy of what's real or not regarding the files. It's important to keep in mind what the White House and DOJ are saying in light of this release, which you can see right here. But obviously, when people comb through these files that were released by the DOJ and they see emails like this, it's up to them whether to decide what they're seeing is real or fake. There's a lot of speculation regarding these files. There's a lot of misinformation regarding these files. So we want to hear what you guys think. Let us know in the comments whether or not you think there's any validity to the email, whether you think there's any validity to the claim that Epstein was involved with Russia. We're very interested to hear what you have to say. As always, my name is Jackson Buhai, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Okay. So, again, I did drop the, whoops, I didn't mean to close that yet because y'all know I do have to have end with a puppy stream. And I also did put the 988 lifeline in the chat. If you ever need help, that is the best way. They are there. They are a crisis line. They will help. You can call, text, chat. They also have deaf and hard of hearing. So, with that, I don't know. Wait a minute. Something started playing over here. It goes into the trauma of the girls, and I'm not ready to do that today because I need a break. Mom needs me. So with mom needing me, I'm going to have to go. So I want to close out. We've been here for 2.5 hours. Yes, you watching body language, you can tell a lot. So we're going to close with Goldie and Frenchie again. And because Lola was having a nightmare, I felt this one was appropriate.
I had the strangest dream last night. Stranger than chasing giant squirrels or having multiple clones of your mom in the house? No, this one was different. I dreamt that we were cats. We were dogs. I don't know why that dream bothered me so much. Dogs? That feels like such a downgrade. Who would want that? I know, right? I wake up, gently knock something off the table, then sit exactly where I'm not supposed to. I can be my authentic self. And me. I'll stare at nothing for long periods of time. Not because I'm lost, but because I'm present. So what if I needed a full 10 minutes to lick myself before we started? You don't rush excellence. But you know what's weird? I had a dream we were dogs too. For real? We had a whole podcast. Dog guests talking about breed history. We joked about dumb dog stuff. We got emotional. You explained science like you were an expert in oxytocin. That's way too much commitment and responsibility. Relax. Just remember, it was all a dream. Worth it.
Okay, with that, I'm going to go. Always remember, spay and neuter your pets. Y'all know I did have my babies fixed this weekend. I was very, very grateful to the wonderful Empty Shelter Project that took care of my babies. They are wonderful company, and you will see in my community post, I did post a little blurb about them. They treated my babies like angels, and I so appreciate that. And I always want to end to let everybody know you are cared about, you are loved, and spay and neuter those pets, y'all, because we love our fur babies, and we have to take care of them. So I want you all to know I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. I appreciate all the newbies for stopping by. If you don't mind giving me a thumbs up on your way up, I'm sorry, way out, or thumbs down if you didn't like it. It's okay. It's all engagement. I had fun and I enjoyed meeting all the new ones that popped in today. This was something that I don't do often. I don't normally do Epstein type things. This was totally, like I said, I went down my rabbit hole. So I'm including y'all in my big old rabbit hole. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Yeah, meeting Lola, my babies. Okay, with that, I'm going to go. So till tomorrow, peace, rubber out. Y'all have a great rest.
Life